Hi everyone, it's Laurel here. Today I am participating in a video blog hop for my friend Christy Ruling of Christy Gets Crafty. She is celebrating 10,000 YouTube subscribers over on her YouTube channel, so she's put together a blog hop. There's lots of participant and lots of prizes. You'll want to check out the description below because I will be linking to the next person on the hop, and you'll also want to check out my blog and her blog for a list of all the prizes, and those will be linked below in the YouTube description as well. Now, the theme of this blog hop is supposed to be celebration, but my brain froze, whatever, needed caffeine, and forgot. So I made get well cards. So we're going to turn them into a celebration card by saying, congratulations, get well soon, you're feeling better, or whatever. We got to spin it, because I've already made them, and I made them for her and for the hop, so oops. So there you go. So everybody else is on the hop are probably going to have, follow the directions and made really great celebration cards, and I made some get well cards, so whatever. I am using this adorable stamp set by Clearly Besotted. It's called Under the Weather. It is so stinking cute. I'm going to make 2 cards with the same layout, just a little bit different. First, I need to create some masks, so I went ahead and stamped 3 of the images onto some masking paper from Ink&Dink-a-Doo, and then I cut them out off camera. You're welcome. And now I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my little critters here. I am using smoky gray pigment ink from Sukaneko. I didn't want a black outline, I didn't want a white outline, I want a gray, and this is like perfect. I'm so glad I stumbled across this color somehow. So I'm giving it a double ink. I'm using my mini Misty, of course, you know me. So I'm going to do everything twice here because the layout of the critters are going to be the same on both cards. These are little sick little guys. They're so cute, cuddly. Oh. Anyway, so I'm going ahead and stamping those, and then I will heat emboss them. It's a pigment ink, so my clear embossing powder will stick to it, so I'm able to sprinkle that on and heat set it. And I'm going to do that for all 3 of the little sick critters here. I'm going to watercolor one of the images with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and then the other one I'm going to do something a little bit different. So to continue with the layout, I need to mask the little sick bear there laying under the blanket asleep, and then I'm going to have the other 2 critters kind of sitting behind him somehow. So I needed to mask my bear off. Then when I stamp these 2 images and when I remove the mask, it'll look like they're sitting behind the bear. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. So I'm inking it up several times. Another godsend. Thank you, Ileana, for making this misty. This makes everything so much easier, I gotta tell you. Now look, I went, ooh, did you see what I almost did? I forgot to put my mask on the bear right here. That could have been a fiasco. Luckily I caught it, so I removed the mask from the other panel, moved it over to this panel, and then inked it up. Phew. So when I remove the mask from the bear, you'll see that the other 2 little sick critters are kind of sitting behind the little bear. Poor little guy. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set those, and now we're going to start on the basic, the design of this card right here. I want to mask off all my critters now because I want to keep the little critters white. I don't want any color on them. So I'm going to put the masks that I cut. This Ink&Dink-a-Doo masking paper has a backing sheet you peel off and it's sticky. You can use a post-it note or even some typing paper with some temporary adhesive, something like that. The key to masking is very, very, very thin paper. This is a striped stencil I have in my stash, and I'm just kind of adhering it down with some masking tape, and I've got some cracked pistachio distress ink here, and I'm carefully going over the stencil. Because there's so many lines, the stencil moves and bounces around a lot. It's kind of hard to work with it, but I love the stripes. I just love it, so I'm going with it. I'm just making sure I keep holding down the stencil in place. Because there's so much open space on this stencil, it's very easy to bop around or even almost rip it. So I want it darker, the color darker near the critters and lighter away from the critters. So I keep lifting up my stencil, as you can see, until I'm satisfied with the stripes. And once I'm done with that blending, I'm going to set it aside and work on the watercoloring of this second card here. Now I'm using the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, so I'm using some Bristol paper. I won't go into my whole story again, but anytime I use the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, I always use it with the Bristol paper. That's the paper that I get the best results with and the easiest blending. So I am going to turn on some music here, And you can totally fast forward over all of this coloring if it's not something that interests you, and then you can jump back in when we assemble the cards if you want. But for now, I'm just going to turn on some music and you can watch me color. Very basic coloring. Anytime I color, it's easy, it's simple. That's why my little hashtag is simply card making. If I can do it, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'll be back as soon as I get all these poor little sick guys colored. Okie dokie, I've got my images all colored in. I'm happy with it. Now it's time to add sentiments to both of these cards. So again, using my mini Misty, and I'm using the same ink that I used before. This image reads Get Well Soon. I'm just kind of centering it and placing it right under where the little guys are kind of sitting. Poor little things. And again, I'm going to go ahead and heat set that to keep all of the outlines of the stamped image and the sentiment the same color, same texture, same everything. And then I decided for the other card, this is a little black die cut panel I die cut I had in my drawer. I think this is from the My Favorite Things Inside and Out rectangle die. And I am carefully centering this sentiment right over the middle of that. I'm going to ink it up with some white pigment ink. This ink is from the Ton. And I'm going to, I love white on black. I use it all the time. Y'all are probably sick of it, but I love it. I love it. Don't fix what's not broke. You know what I mean? Sprinkling on some super fine white embossing powder, and then I heat set that. I toyed around with popping it up or laying it flat, and I ultimately went with popping it up with some foam dimensional tape here. And then as a finishing touch, I'm just going to adhere these down to some black top folding card bases. Again, these are A2 sized cards, and that's going to be it. Now I sat here after I was done with all this, and I was thinking, sequins, splatters, what should I do? Sequins or splatters? And I sat there for a good 5 minutes. I'm not kidding you. I edited that out of the video. You're welcome. And instead, I decided to add these little speech bubbles. These are also included in the same stamp set. Again, it's called Under the Weather. So I'm going to put the little bear's little sleeping because he doesn't feel good. He got a cold. And anytime you have a cold or anytime you don't feel good, the best thing to do is sleep. Sleeping solves everything. And chocolate. And then the other little bear, or the other, what is that, little bunny rabbit? Poor little guy. So cute. But anyway, I put that speech bubble and that says cough. He's got a little cough. These poor little guys. They all have the flu. They need to feel better. They need to feel better. So I decided against the ink splatters. You're welcome, because I do that all the time too. And no sequins, because I'm just really not good with sequins placement, and I didn't want to mess up the cards. And that's it. They're clean. They're simple. They've got pops of color. They're perfect with the style that I think I feel that I am. If you were to define me, I would say clean and simple, and that's what these are. And I think anybody that's sick or just not feeling good, I think that might bring a little smile to their face. I hope anyway. So, yeah. So, Christy. I'm sorry I didn't do the celebration theme. I'm so sorry, but I'm really so excited and happy and proud of you for reaching 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, there are prizes. This is a video hop, so make sure you look in the description below so you can hop on over to the next person on the list for the video hop. And then my blog and Christy's blog is also linked below, so you can head to my blog and see more pictures of my projects today and the whole entire hop list I'll put over there. And you can see the prizes that you could win just by leaving a comment. So thanks for joining me, hanging with me, and for, not wanting to give me a good kick in the tush for not following the rules of the celebration themed blog hop. Have a wonderful day.